Hola, this is Anna. How are you today? Friday, fun Friday. We are today on our podcast instead of last Wednesday this week. Just in case you miss us, we were not able to go live then, but here we are. And I think I have a super fun picture graphic that I want to share with you today. And I will in a minute. This was actually done in real time at a presentation that I did this past week at a networking group, room filled with women that were ready to learn how to get their body and their business in their best shape. And one of the women was actually doing this without me knowing it, actually, as I was speaking. And at the end of the presentation, she came with it and she showed it to me. And I'm going to share my screen so you can see what that is that I'm talking about, because I find this pretty fascinating. This is what she was drawing as I was speaking. Isn't that cool? I mean, my mouth definitely dropped as she showed me. I think she drew me much better than I look, actually. And then she was blasting everything that I was discussing about. So the myths about exercise, how the movement of exercise, the method of exercise that I practice is slow and is mindful, and that you only need to do it once a week in order to get results. We practice some slow squats. People got to feel that burn as they were exercising. And I did that in comparison with the fastest ones, with the faster squats, so they could feel the difference doing it one way or the other. She even brought this that something new that I've been saying, and it's becoming quite an interesting thought now when I share it in my presentations or when I'm talking to clients, and that is that stress makes fat stubborn. And this is very true. We've talked about this in other podcasts, right? But it is the fact that exercise and nutrition alone sometimes is not enough. We need to include also those mindfulness practices and having that stress release activities that are going to help with the cortisol, with the hormone that sometimes goes pretty high in our system, and it doesn't allow for the fat to move and live when your goal is to lose weight and to lose fat. I love this drawing of the person calm, better sleep, because also with exercise, good nutrition, and meditation or mindfulness practices, we can actually allow for that to be so much better. Grow brain cells. Look at those little bicep muscles there on that brain cells. And yes, in one of our previous podcasts too, we talk about the 4 brain benefits of exercise, of like really reduce stress and anxiety, improve your productivity, and your concentration as well, and your focus, and also reduce anxiety, as you guys see blasted here. And then she also represented, she drew my logo beautifully, and the Mindful Online Gym new branding, talking also about the immune system and how important it is to enhance our immune system these days. And this that she drew, which is the wheel of physical activity, is something that I would like to talk about a little bit today during our time together. And I'm going to stop my screen share for that and just talk to you about what that means. So, if you've ever worked with a trainer or a health coach that utilizes these tools, this is what is called the wheel of life. And we have different ones. Some that are very general, that focus on your life in general and how is that going. Some that focus specifically on physical activity. Some that focus on nutrition. There's also the wellness inventory. And all those different ones are going to help you assess what are the priorities in your life that you need to be focused on in order to get that optimal health that you know you're looking for. So the way this works is that you assess on a scale from 0 to 10, 0 being the less positive about it and the less satisfied, to 10 being the most satisfied. You rate yourself, it's a self-assessment on how you feel about your life. And the example that I was showing you guys before was the wheel of physical activity, which rates sleep, active movement, diet, strength, flexibility, endurance, and relaxation. But Some, like the regular wheel of life or the general wheel of life, is going to also rate your physical environment, your friends and family, your recreation, and how are you doing in all different aspects in your life. So once more, the way you do it is that you rate yourself from a point of 0 to 10 how you are doing in that particular aspect. So let's say in the sleep aspect, you're having trouble sleeping, you're not able to sleep fast, you even wake up in the middle of the night. You will probably do a 4 or a 5, and you will rate yourself like that. For example, in the one wheel that we had on that graphic, active movement, how active are you? Do you go for a walk every day? Do you do some form of exercise every day? Or you are more like I was going to say couch potato, but not in the bad way of the couch potato, right? But you don't like physical activity that much, and you don't tend to do that as often. So you will rate yourself low on that as well. Diet. If you eat super healthy, and maybe once in a while you allow yourself for the foods that you know are not so good for you, but you don't do it as often, you will rate yourself pretty high. Once you have that rating, you're going to put all the numbers of the different aspects of life that you just rated together, and you're going to create a wheel. And the wheel can be round, so your car is going to roll better, or your wheel can be a little choppy, right? Which means that the movement of the transportation method where the wheel is going to be positioning in, it's going to not work as well. And you are that transportation method, right? Your body is the transportation method. So what I find very interesting about these wheels of life and wheels of physical activity and wheels of nutrition and wellness inventory is that sometimes, of course, we all want to be a 10, right, in all of this, but imperfections are perfect. That's what I like to say about humans, because we are not perfect. So we are constantly working and improving ourselves throughout life. So if you were a 10, that would be great, and your wheel would be big and it will be working and rolling nice and smooth. If all the aspects of your life were not at their best, and let's say you rated yourself a 5 on all of them, your wheel of life is still going to roll, but it's going to go a little bit slower, right? Because it's a smaller one, so it's going to take a little bit more effort to get that going. If you have a 10 here, a 5 here, a 2 here, and then the movement is very choppy, that's when things start to not work as well for us. And that's when we have these very extreme themes of having a lot of satisfaction in some areas, but not so much satisfaction in others. And balancing those is what is going to get your body working properly, get your life rolling properly. And that's what we are looking for. So, first step is always that awareness of what are the things in your life that need the most attention. And when I work with clients, and this is an exercise that I always do when I work with privates, but also during our quantum program that will be started in January, it's just right around the corner, we actually also assess this as a group. And we have a time that we sit down, we specifically share those wheels of life, and we spend a few minutes for each of us to go through this process and assess what are the parts of their life that each person in particular that is joining the quantum wants to focus on. And then we facilitate the process where we'll help this person get to that point. And more than once, I have done this exercise with clients. I specifically remember one that was doing it. And then when we do the celebratory party after we finish the process of the 21 days, I always remind you to bring those wheels of life back and see what those goals were and where are you in the process. And a lot of the times, even though we don't look at this during the month or during the 21 days, what you were focusing on, because you have done that exercise and it was your intention, it actually happens and it gets better. And by taking those small steps to make it better, it actually becomes a reality. So I just want to encourage you to look at that, to just maybe look at your life, see if you would like to address a little bit some of the areas that you are not as happy, that you are not as satisfied. If you would like me to help you with this, I'm happy to share this wheel of life with you. You can just schedule a free complimentary Get in Shape strategy session with me, and we will go through this together. And you can just go to my website for that, mindfulonlinegym.com. So schedule that time, and I'll be happy to help you with it. And I'm going to just go a little deeper on that process if this is something that you're going to decide to do by yourself. So we have assessed what is the aspect of our life that needs a little attention. And can be anything from I spend too much time on the computer, on the phone, or watching TV. Or it could be I'm very unhappy where I live. My environment is not the one that I really want to be in. I need to move. Or maybe my relationship is not working the way I would like it to work. And what steps can I take to make that better? Or I'm feeling lonely. Let me see if I can find some new friends, or I can find the partner or the love of your life that you're looking for. So it could be anything, right? You've assessed that you are a little bit less than a 7 on that aspect of your life. Now the next step is to sit down and write down a little step that you're going to do in order to move forward to the place that you want to be. So for example, in the one that I talk about, I'm very uncomfortable where I live. I know I need to move, right? In my case, I have to share. I love where I live. So it's not the case near the ocean in this beautiful San Diego, La Jolla, where I've been wanting to live for years. But anyway, that's another story. Let's focus here. In your case, you don't like where you're living and you actually want to move. So the first step would be to think about, okay, do I know where I want to move? For example, right? Do I have a place? When I was thinking about myself, where I wanted to live, I always think about anywhere from La Jolla to Encinitas that is coastal. And that was my goal. I just wanted to live in this area, and that's what I brought down. So you write that down. What are the steps that I need to do in order to get there? Am I going to look up at it by myself? Maybe you will download the apps that are going to help you find that apartment, that new place to live, or that house that you're going to buy. And you're going to be looking at that, right? It becomes a process. Or maybe you're going to hire a real estate agent. So these are the little steps. And this is a very simple example because it's very common. We all have moved once or twice in our life or more. Definitely in my case, maybe that's your case too. But let's talk, for example, about something a little bit more abstract, perhaps, as the fact that you want to lose fat, that you want to lose weight and tone up. And you don't even know where to start, but you just know you're very unsatisfied where you are with your body. You don't have any energy. You don't like to look at yourself in the mirror. You just don't have any of the potency and the confidence and the focus and the life force that you would like to feel in within your body. Okay, how do you start with that, right? Where do we start? So just sit down, and if you're doing this with me right now, it's a good time to do it. Take a deep breath. Maybe just close your eyes if that helps you, and just let all the air out. And I think it's a good exercise sometimes to just position yourself in where you want to be. So how do I want to see myself? If it's the case that you are not feeling toned, that you're feeling heavy, your clothes don't feel well, and you're seeing the holidays coming up around the corner and you feel like all this is going to get worse, close your eyes again. Let all that thinking behind and just visualize yourself with that body, with that energy, with that spirit that you would like to be. Just close your eyes and do it for a second. Once you have that image of yourself, right? This is the healthiest, strongest, more toned, more physically fit that you want to be. And you have that image. You want to become that healthier person. Then, what is the first step that will take you to get there? And this is very specific for you, because here's the thing. If I tell you what to do, maybe that's not entirely your priority. And the chances that you will do it are very minimal. And yes, of course, exercise, nutrition, meditation, we've said that already. But what is it for you that is the priority? That is your first step that you can commit to and that you can maintain for a period of time. So once you see that change happening is going to get you a little bit closer to that optimum health, to that stronger, healthiest you that you want to be. And just to give you some examples, if nothing comes to mind, pick the one that you like. Start a daily walk. Start doing a strength training. That's my preference because it's going to get you results faster. Take out one food that you know that you overdo. That can be, perhaps cheese for a lot of people, perhaps carbs for a lot of people, maybe drinking. That's something that also can be in excess, and that is a way to accumulate fat. And if it is that you are stressed out of your mind and you don't find time during the week or even on the weekends for self-care, is just finding maybe just an hour a week that is just for you. You're taking a bath, you're doing a massage, you're doing for a walk, you're meditating, you're spending time with loved ones, whatever it is that helps you relax. These are all a lot of examples. And when I work with people, of course, I ask the questions that will actually get you to know which is the priority. But in this case, I'm just giving you some examples so you can assess by yourself what is it that is going to be the best thing for you to get started with. When you're doing this exercise also, don't pick more than 3 to 5 habit changes because the chances of doing more than that are going to be minimal. Very few of us can actually make a huge change in a very short period of time. Most of us, what is going to happen is that small changes consistently are going to be lasting for the rest of our lives. All right, I want to share one more time my screen with this graphic because I feel like there's so much going on here. And I just think that is such a wonderful graphic to share. I just want to leave you with that image. And I just want you to look at it one more time. Maybe for some of you that are more visual, right, this will help you pick what is the one thing that you're going to commit to this week to change in your life. And maybe it's learning more about health and wellness. Maybe it's doing something that you can sleep better, as deep, long breaths, as removing yourself from technology an hour before you go to bed. Maybe it's exercising, which I always say that's one of the top ones that we can always do. Just pick one and then take it with you for the rest of the week. Thank you so much for being here. Always appreciate it. And one last thing, I almost forgot. I want to invite you to my next free class this month. I had 2 left. I have one this morning. People really enjoyed it. And the next one is next Wednesday, December 15th at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So join our free class. Try the workout. That could be your first step to move forward. And our quantum program, which starts in January, we are ending registrations next Wednesday as well. So if you have any questions, you can always contact me via email, anna@mindfulonlinegym.com, or through our website, schedule a consultation. I'd love to see you there. Thank you so much again. Hope to see you very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day.